What up is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. But we are going to be doing who is going to be off to a rough week one. Cold starts here, and so if you watched yesterday's video, it's about players that I would like in DFS or players that I would like to start, and some of them are not the little cherry picking out the bottom. They're actually tough, hard decisions. So, number one, right off the bat, we're going to do QBs, two of them. The first one is going to be Joe Burrow, and I think recovering from his ACL injury, they're going to use Mixon a ton. Now, they're against my Vikings defense here, but I think Vikings defense is going to be better than last year. 24th last year, which was disappointing underneath the Zimmer regime. I think Joe Burrow is just going to have a little bit of a slower start to this. I think this game is going to be a low-scoring game. I would pick the under in this game. I just think it's going to be a little bit sloppy. Minnesota's going to start off a little rough. It's going to be the Cook versus Mixon show, which is fine, but it doesn't help you really in fantasy with Joe Burrow. And once him and Chase start getting a better relationship together, I think that offense is going to start turning a little bit more points. But we're going to talk about maybe after the first quarter, after the first 4 games, you would say, of the season. The next one is Justin Herbert, which is a really tough, cold start because he has to face Washington. And that is one of the I love Washington. I think Chase Young is a really good defensive end already, now in his second year. But the over-under is 44 points. If you look at it, you're talking about maybe 21 points there. So you have the third best passing against the pass defense, I guess you say. Yeah, passing defense. I'll just say passing defense. Third best passing defense. So you're talking about a team that's probably not going to let up a ton. And just the best time to play, I think, in offense sometimes is right in the beginning of the season when things are not clicking. And defensively, if you have a good pass rush, you can really make a mess on week one. So I think Justin Herbert is going to have a little bit of a struggle. You're not going to look at the 25 points. You're maybe looking at like 17, 16, something along those lines. But we'll see. Excuse me. All right, we're doing 3 running backs. The first one, Chris Carson. It's against the Colts, which at first, sometimes people are like, oh, the Colts, they have a decent defense. And they did. 90.8 yards last year against the run, which is really good, but 57 yards the last 3 games. They really picked it up the last 3 games. And so I think that the Colts defense is going to stop Chris Carson, and they're going to try to have Russell Wilson pass against him and beat them that way. And I do think this is, again, one of those games that you're going to see, and it's going to be like 7-3 at half, and you're going to be like, wow, that's a really low-scoring game. And I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Probably you could see maybe 35 points total. I don't even know I didn't put the over-under on there, but I could see like a 21-14 or 21-17 victory by Seattle in this game. The next guys is going to be the Raiders running backs versus Baltimore. Baltimore, again, 6th best, 76.7 yards though in the last 3 games of last season. Baltimore's always has a tough rush defense, and I think they're going to really try to stifle the run there through Oakland, and I think Oakland's going to struggle, or not Oakland, Las Vegas. I'm back in time, I guess. Las Vegas, the Raiders, and I think Raiders are going to really struggle right off the bat. That's what you're going to see with some of these teams. Some of these teams are going to look like, man, they're ready to go week one. Some of these teams are not going to look ready to go week one. I think they're going to really struggle against Baltimore. The next one is Deandre Swift against the 49ers, and there's multiple reasons for it, but he's just coming off an injury. They said he should start week one, but you're talking about an over-under. They're negative 7.5 points against 49ers. That's not a good stat for running backs. It really isn't. Really, the 49ers have the 8th best defense against the run. If I'm the 49ers, I'm going to be trying to stifle that running attack. And I think that you're going to see a lot more Jamal Williams right off the bat than Swift owners are going to care to see. And that's just going to be right off the bat. I think that Swift is they're going to ease him in. So we have to understand those things. And I think DeAndre Swift is a potentially cold start to the season. Wide receivers, Allen Robinson, and you might go, why Allen Robinson? Well, he's going to be against Jalen Ramsey and the Rams. 194 yards a game they let up. That is not much. That is the best in NFL. And if I'm the Rams, I am going to take away their best option. It's kind of what the Bill Belichick scheme is. It's like, I'm going to take the best option away, and you can try to beat me some other way. And I think that's what the Rams are going to do. The Rams are going to take Allen Robinson, try to take him out of the game. So you're going to see more Darnell Mooney. You're going to see more Cole Kmet. But it's just going to be an ugly game, I think, honestly. I think you're going to see... I mean, I would love to say that bench Andy Dalton, but I mean, everyone's already benching Andy Dalton. So the next thing I'm going to say is the second wide receiver in Buffalo, whoever you believe that is. If you believe that's Gabriel Davis, if you believe that's Emmanuel Sanders, if you believe that is Cole Beasley, whoever you believe it is, bench. It is. I mean, it's against the Steelers, 188 yards a game, which is second best, right behind the Rams. And I'm just going to see that this is going to be a Allen and Diggs show, plus maybe a little bit of like Devin Singletary, a little bit of Zach Moss. It's going to be Allen's going to have an okay game. You're going to have Diggs that's probably going to have a decent, still a good game, and then everyone else is just going to. That's where I think these defense, like Steelers, I think they're going to try to clamp down on Diggs, but I just don't think that they can really do that. I think you're going to see a little bit of Diggs and then a little bit of the sprinkle about everybody else, but it's not going to be much. So don't believe in Gabriel Davis right off the season. Don't believe in Cole Beasley right off the season. Just not a really good matchup for those types of players. Tight end, Mike Gesicki. And the over-under in this game is 44 against the Patriots. I think it's just, again, talking about two offenses that might be a little bit sloppy. Dolphins are right now scheduled for 20 points. I mean, that's not many points. 20 points. Like, I think Gesicki is. I could see a really good Gaskin game here against New England. I think they're gonna try to slow the pace down there. Again, on the other side of the ball, Mac Jones. I'm not a big fan to start off. I said that the Dolphins defense is one of my favorite defenses right in week one because I think Mac Jones is going to have a little bit of a slow start. And again, these are, if you keep hearing me say, oh, these are all slow starts, it's because these are teams that I think are going to struggle right away. And there's some really good matchups that kind of show that. There's going to be some games, I think, like Eagles-Falcons that are going to have very little defense. So you're going to have that as well. The next is kind of a double tight end because it's in the same game. The over-under in that game is 42 points, which is super low. And you're going to have Evan Ingram, who we don't know is going to start, but I'm going to bench him anyways because we just don't know if he's ever going to be healthy. But at this point, bench him and Noah Fant. Because Noah Fant, again, with the defenses that are going to be middle defense, 15th and 16th respectively, I just think that you're going to see a better game maybe out of Jerry Jeudy. You might go see some running game through Melvin Gordon right away. Maybe even a sprinkle of Javonte Williams to start off. But I think Teddy Bridgewater, I think in the beginning of the year, I think that Noah Fant will have his games, and I think he's going to have some games where it's going to really struggle. You're going to see 2 catches for 30 yards, and then you're going to see another game where it's like 6 catches for 65 yards and maybe a touchdown. And this is going to be the 2-catch 30 game that's I'm predicting. Maybe a 3-catch 30 game. Maybe I'll say that. Maybe he's got 3 catches for 30 yards, not 30 points. That'd be crazy. Now I'm going to go through some defenses that I dislike. Bears versus Rams. I think Matthew Stafford's going to score a lot of points or try to score a lot of points there. And I just don't like the Bears defense right off the bat. Steelers versus Bills, kind of the same thing. It's like Steelers are going to be going against Josh Allen. He's going to score some points. It's just going to be how many points he's going to score. And then Bucks versus Dallas. I think Dallas has a really good offense. And to start the Bucks defense right off the gate against Dallas is a little risky because you can see Dallas putting up 35 points. And they could still lose. Dallas could still definitely lose. I think it's just going to be a high-scoring game. So those are my Week 1 benches. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys disagree or agree with, or your Week 1 benches. All right? Peace out. Take care. See you tomorrow. Now turn up.